Hi everyone, this is me Aziz Swedi, student at EMB 24467, and here I am going to present you my individual assignment for the subject corporate accounting. Uh, for this assignment, we get two different questions, part A and part B. For the part A, we have to analyze the existing literature, and I went through different literature, and I tried my best to present about the cash flow statement and income statement. Basically, the part I deal with analyzing the primary information and explanation on the topic of importance of various financial statements such as income statement and the cash flow statement. This part of individual assignment will start critically analyze the information available from the income statement and from the statement of cash flow. Here, two statements are analysis from the investor point of view. So, in a way to identify the importance of the usefulness of the income statement and statement of the cash flow. I went through this. In part B, we select the different organization like BHP Limited, Santos Limited, and Fantastic Limited as well. In part A, we found about the income statement. It is one of the important document from the financial statement point of view in the income statement. The statement contains the information about the actual and accurate income and expenses. So it's all about the income and expenses of the financial organization. The major information covered into the income statement are revenue, expenses, profit, gain from the continue of the business. So investor and other stakeholder consider the income statement as a document showing the profit and loss for the specific period of time. Here, profit and loss is computed by the subtracting expenses from the revenue, and the statement determine the profit and loss by taking all the revenue and subtracting all the expenses from both operating and non-operating activities. So it helps the investor to make a decision for the investment and in the future, and they can analyze about the sales growth and the natural expenses. So income statement is very helpful and reliable document for the investor and the stakeholders. Similarly, cash flow statement also very important document for the investors. I can say that the second most important financial statement is cash flow statement. This document states about the liquidity position of the reporting business entity. So this statement prepared based on accounting policy for inflow and outflow of cash. This is purely based on the cash basis. So the major activities in which cash flow statement is divided are the operating activities, financial activities, and investment activities. And the operating activities cover all those information which was the part of the income statement. So here only cash transaction are considered, so not the credit. So whereas the investment activity statement about the various investments, such as investment in various forms of securities or realization of same financial activities, so the inflow and outflow of the cash from the various financial instruments. So investor and stakeholder use this statement in order to check or to measure the liquidity condition of the entity, business entity. So it helps to analyze the financial risks for the business associated with the business operation, along with company ability to repay the debt and the outstanding liabilities in further future or further another time. So that's all for the part A. And for the part B, I summarize and analyze the consolidated cash flow statement of BHP Limited, Santos Limited, and Fantastic Limited. These three selected companies are the Australian leading business entities. So we just try to analyze this one. The analysis of the consolidated cash flow is being carried out on the actual information stated in cash flow statement between the period of 2017 to 2019 and based on the question which were asked in the requirement part of the individual project. So as per the question, analysis of cash flow statement based on the questionnaire asked the requirement for the cash flow. We found others found that the cash flow statement is mainly divided into three categories, such as cash flow from operating, cash flow from financial activities, and cash flow from investment activities. So for the BHP Limited, the major source of cash flow statement inflow or major cash inflow are the cash received from the continuous operating activities, whereas the major source for the outflow cash are the cash flow from the financial activities. The above stated two sources plays an important role in deciding the liquidity position of the entity. So the complete adverse and reverse situation is noted in case of Fantastic Limited. So here the major source for inflow for Fantastic Limited are from the financial activities, and for the outflow also from the financial activities, which means the income generated from the operating activities are collectively less, and the Fantastic had injected additional fund from the various financial activities. So the liquidity position of Fantastic Limited is such questionable, and it requires immediate and quick action in near future in order to meet the expectation of the stakeholders to ensure the continued growth and the development of the business. And finally, in case of Santos Limited, the major source for inflow of cash are the cash inflow from operating activities, where the major source of outflow of cash are the cash flows from the investment activities. This data indicates the Santos had generated sufficient amount of profit during the 3 years period. So this amount was used in order to make investment in various instruments like capital assets. We all know about that. So in the assignment, I tried to figure out in a table, and you can see in my individual assignment, and this similar reason for variation in operating cash flow and net profit is stated in the profit and loss account of BHP Limited are as follows. Here some common reason for variation in cash flow statement and the income statement are change in working capital, recording of transaction on cash basis only. Similarly, ignorance non-cash expenses while preparing cash flow statements, and in income statement the expenses and income are recorded on an accrual basis, where in cash flow statement the income and expenses are recorded on cash basis. So here are some common reasons, and so and I'm about to finish my presentation. So at the conclusion, the above discussion is all covered about the income statement, the cash flow statement, and the financial position of the different selected companies. We discussed about their liquidity position, their cash flow, and their income statement, and other their coverage as well. So thank you. Have a good day.